Welcome to a world where celebrity intersects with the shadow of manipulation. Today we dive into the troubling story of Jane and Didi, a relationship marked by power, dependency, and unspoken secrets. Stay with us to uncover what truly lies behind the closed doors of Didi's parties. On a day in June 2025, as the sun rises over the city, Jane stands before the court, ready to share her story. Her heart races, but she knows it's time to reveal the truth about her relationship with Didi, the man known as Sean Combs. This is not just a trial, it is an act of courage, a quest for justice for herself and for all those who have suffered in silence. The story begins in September 2023, when Jane, a young woman full of dreams, finds herself trapped in a world she never imagined. The messages exchanged with Didi reveal a troubling dynamic. She tries to put an end to the hotel nights, those evenings where she felt used, but Didi, with his charm and power, insists that she continues. "Just do what I say, please," he writes, a palpable pressure in every word. Jane, worried for her safety and privacy, feels trapped in a game whose rules she does not know. As the weeks go by, the tension rises. Jane listens to a podcast where Didi boasts about his conquests, and she realizes with horror that she is just a piece in his puzzle. "I don't want to be used and locked in a room to satisfy your fantasies," she writes, but Didi responds by calling her a liar, keeping her under his control. Financial dependency becomes a tool of control, and Jane finds herself juggling her desires and fears. In October, Jane listens to a podcast where Didi brags about a 48-hour sexual encounter during a yacht trip, which he had promised her but shared with another woman. This devastates her, reinforcing her feeling of being used. In her messages, she writes, "I don't want to be used and locked in a room to satisfy your fantasies. I'm starting to realize what this is really about." Didi responds with accusations of false accusations, but Jane feels compelled to continue as he pays her rent, binding her financially. A trip to New York in September 2023 illustrates this grip. Didi promises no hotel nights, but once she arrives he introduces a new performer, forcing her to participate. Jane remembers taking a deep breath, feeling upset, disappointed, crushed. In Miami, Didi wants to review the videos from New York and reinvites the same performer, showing a repetition of patterns. In November 2023, Jane discovers Cassie's federal complaint against Didi, accusing him of physical violence and manipulation. Reading the first 3 pages shocks her to the point of almost fainting, as she sees terrifying similarities with her own experience. She sends messages to Didi saying, "I feel like I'm reading my own sexual trauma." Didi, in a panic, responds 2 days later, asking for a call recorded by Christina, his former chief of staff. In the call, he minimizes the hotel nights as a sexual delusion they both enjoyed, asking for her friendship, but Jane, haunted, wonders who will be there for her in the face of her nightmares. 2024. Attempts to break free and ongoing pressures. In December 2023, Jane and Didi stop communicating until February 2024, a period during which Jane finds some peace. She launches a fan account in January, receiving $9,000 from a friend, improving her financial situation. However, Didi contacts her again, inviting her for his birthday, but Jane, traumatized by past birthdays, hesitates. They start seeing each other again, but the hotel nights persist, as in March 2024, when Didi tries to convince her to organize another night, lying about his mother's visit to hide another woman. In March 2024, searches of Didi's residences lead a Homeland Security agent to leave a card at Jane's place. She calls Didi, who hires a lawyer for her, still paying her legal fees ironically while she testifies against him. A performer named Slee threatens to release a 35-minute video of her and Didi, demanding $100,000. Didi intervenes through his legal team, and the video is not published, but Jane remains in uncertainty. Thematic analysis and implications. Power dynamics and control. The relationship shows a clear grip, with Didi using financial dependency, paying the rent, and tactics like guilt or health to keep Jane under control. Influenced by her role as an influencer and her affected career, Jane feels compelled to participate, fearing she will lose her home and support. This raises questions about consent, especially when Didi records videos without ensuring their confidentiality, potentially using them as a means of blackmail as he did with Cassie. Reactions and consequences. Jane contracts a urinary infection and a yeast infection after a sobriety night in October 2023, where she vomits after encounters with 2 men, feeling disgusting, repulsed, furious with herself. These physical incidents reflect her psychological trauma, reinforcing her desire to distance herself. In July 2024, CNN publishes a video of Didi hitting Cassie, seen by Jane at her residence, marking a turning point. Their last meeting in August 2024 follows the same pattern, with Didi inviting another man, but his arrest prevents a planned meeting in New York. Current position of Jane. Jane has not filed a lawsuit against Didi and does not plan to seek money, praying for his healing and peace. This may reflect emotional complexity, perhaps related to past ties or legal fears, but it also shows her resilience in the face of a system that has exploited her. As Jane stands there ready to turn the page on her story, she reminds us that healing is a long and winding road. Her testimony is a call for solidarity and understanding. If you enjoyed this dive into a reality often hidden, subscribe for more stories that shed light on the truth behind the facades. Together we can break the silence. If you had an inkling of how events would unfold, right? I knew it, this life of luxury comes at a price. Share your feelings in the comments, it could help. Remember, behind every celebrity smile, there is often a story that no one wants to hear. Don't let silence win.